Hey friend, I'm Lish, a 39-year-old self-taught artist from the US. And over the past 5 years, I've been on a journey to become the woman I needed as a child. Right now, I'm building a website and a podcast, finishing my first painting series, and writing a book series. I've been quiet for a while, tucked away in hermit mode, learning how to juggle all of the pieces of building a creative life. Some days, I balance it all beautifully, and some days, I don't. But I'm here to show you the real process, the messy parts included, and hopefully you become your own greatest gift along the way. I spent a lot of years feeling stifled, holding myself back, and trying to be the good person everyone expected. Now I'm doing more by slowing down, reconnecting with nature and with the wide-eyed dreams I've had since I was young. And together, we're on a mission to fulfill our purpose. So grab your latte, get cozy, and welcome to the journey. I'm not really sure who needs to hear this right now, but if this message found you, then it found you for a reason. Also, hopefully you cannot hear the baby phone in the background because the kid will not leave me alone. Hashtag motherhood. All I wanted to do was record the voiceover for this episode, get it posted, and then get my 10K steps in for today because I went all weekend without moving from my office chair. I decided I was going to paint ornaments for gifts, and I didn't really do any kind of moving around all weekend long unless you count running up and down the stairs to do laundry for 5 people. That in and of itself was kind of a workout, but that's all I did. That and paint. So, while it was productive, I did not work on today's entry. And I falsely thought that I could come home, get the little kids snacks, and come up here and do a quick voice recording, post the video, and then walk on the treadmill. Alas, yeah, that is not what's happening. We are on snack number 2, right before their dad gets home and makes dinner. So, and the first time I tried to record this, the teenager was downstairs singing at the top of his lungs. And while he is a really good singer, I really don't want it in the background of my voiceover. So here we are. He has went to his girlfriend's, the kids have a second snack, and we're going to try again. So, yet again, I don't know who needs to hear this, but for some reason, it's just been overplaying in my head that some people, a lot of people, me included, really need to get back to the natural rhythm of things. And that means in December, we're resting. We're enjoying the fruits of our labor. We are not grinding it out before the end of the year and putting ourselves in stressful situations and everything else that the holiday seems to have brought. Now, granted, a lot of things that I used to do, a lot of the patterns that I used to have revolving around this time of year were learned behaviors because my parents would go to 14 different houses in 48 hours and stress over making dinner 7 times and worried about not having a gift for all of the cousins and all of the aunts and uncles. And my family is not ginormous, but it's not small either. And it adds up quick. And I'm just like, why do we do this to ourselves? If I haven't seen my cousin in 10 years, why am I going to stress about getting them a Christmas present? I have 3 kids. That is the focus. Making their holiday season is the focus. Now, granted, I do have a sinking fund that is especially for putting back money so that I can give to people because my love language is gifts. I love to buy gifts for people. I'm extremely good at knowing what people want and what will make them feel good. It's a superpower. It really is. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know where some of the ideas I get come from. Divine intervention. But considering my life's purpose is basically helping in a nutshell, it kind of goes hand in hand, I would say. So I'm embracing it now. I'm not fighting it anymore, but I'm also not fighting the fact that this time of year is meant for relaxation. I'm still getting stuff done. I'm still very hyper fixated on getting my website done by the end of the month, but I am 2 feet head first into my feminine energy, and I am just going with the flow. If I don't feel like working on the website, I'm not working on it, because for me, I've noticed that if I try to force it, it's not going to be as good, and I'm probably going to end up redoing it. So, yesterday, I did work on my website. Today, I will not be. Today, I'm basically just focused on this entry, getting it posted, because we are building healthy habits. We are moving the needle forward one step at a time. And I am determined to get this out. Will it be out by 8 o'clock? Probably not, knowing my luck. But it will be out tonight, even if I have to stay up till midnight to get it finished, because I spent the weekend doing Christmas gifts. But that's not the point. The point is that I'm using my energy strategically, and I'm leaning into what I feel like doing. It seems kind of weird, mostly because most people don't do this, but my new year is actually November 1st. Halloween signifies the end of my year, my personal year. November 1st, I have learned that it is not the harvest season anymore. It is time to really look inward, reflect on what's happened during the year, and plan ahead. So, this year, that is what I've been doing. And it is working out phenomenally. I don't know why this light bulb didn't go off for me before, but it doesn't matter, because it wasn't meant to. Clearly, I had lessons to learn, and maybe you did too. But, and this isn't going to be for everybody. I understand that. Some people are not going to understand this concept at all. Others are going to think that's not going to help me. But if you're kind of nodding your head a little bit, maybe you should try it. Because yeah, it's not the norm. And yeah, at least in the US, our new year is December 31st. But for me personally, November and December, I'm not really doing a whole lot. I'm relaxing. I'm re-energizing myself. I'm only doing and working on things that are going to propel me forward and help build a good base. Because after January, I have a lot of things that are kind of stacked one on top of the other, and it kind of creates a domino effect, and I'm never going to achieve those if I'm slow in my momentum, if I don't have a good start on my health, my energy, my plans. So it's really important that I use November and December to really recalibrate my body, my mind, all of it. So let's dive into how I'm doing that. And hopefully this will work for you too. You might have to, fine tune it to your own body. A lot of what I do is just me doing things and seeing how my body reacts. I'm not a scientist. I'm just someone who has spent majority of her 39 years here on Earth really paying attention to how things affect my body, if it's good, if it's bad, if it works, if it doesn't work. Now, I'll be honest, I have always been a tiny little pixie. I'm only 5'2". My average weight most of my life was around 114 pounds when I'm working out and lifting weights consistently. That is like my mean. And even after having kids, I got back down to my normal weight pretty quickly. My problem now is the fact that I'm pushing 40. Things don't work as well as they used to. And after having 3 pregnancies back to back, it really affected my body. So first, I came up with a game plan. I knew that between my job and all my hobbies, I don't really move a whole lot. So that was my first goal. I really needed to start moving more. And I used to be an avid runner, and then I've worked out like in a gym off and on throughout my life, but I didn't start going avidly and really getting into lifting weights until I met DJ. Unfortunately, now that we've had kids, more kids, that's not really in the cards. So I had to be more creative about how to move my body. I can get by with doing at-home workouts. So I have a couple apps I use, and I bought a treadmill. It's actually a walking pad, but it's the closest I'm going to get to a treadmill in the tiny space that we live in. So, and I love it. I absolutely love it. It started out me kind of getting back into running using the Runna app. I highly, highly recommend the Runna app if you're novice, if you have been running your entire life, if you're like me and want to get back into it. Runna app is amazing, and I do think I have an affiliate code that I can put. So if I find one, I will put it in the description below. Save you some coin. If you're like me, all your money goes to your kids. So any little bit helps. But I do love the Run app so much. So I downloaded that. I started running again. And then I was noticing my weight was fluctuating a lot. Like I was still having days where I felt like I was like 10 pounds heavier, which was weird. And then I realized it was more of like a bloating issue. So I was like, okay, my diet needs to change. So I started planning for that. I started experimenting, started doing different things. Next problem, because there's always going to be an issue arises. You just got to learn how to pivot. My next issue that I came across was the fact that some days I would get really tired after I ate lunch, and then other days I wouldn't. And I was like, okay, so now what's the deal? I was helping bloating because I was not eating processed foods. I was just eating the foods that I liked. I mean, some were processed. I mean, hell, I drink Alani's like they're going out of style. But I don't have more than one of those a day. So I was like, okay, well, what else could it be? I would plan my meals out for the week and I would experiment. I would be like, I know I like all these foods. I'm going to put them in different combinations and take note of what makes me tired and what doesn't. And lo and behold, I wanted to cry because I'm a part-time vegetarian. I really like my vegetables and they are now my frenemies. I was so upset. I found out that every time I had carrots or squash or zucchini or anything like that in my lunches, I would be tired afterwards. If I had rice, it was fine. If I had my overnight oats, those give me the most energy. If I had meat or cottage cheese or eggs or nuts or any of that stuff, I was perfectly fine, if not more energized than before I started eating. But if I had vegetables like that mixed in with my lunches, I would be so tired until like 2 or 3 in the afternoon when I decided to go get my Alani and get me a pick-me-up. So now I know if I'm going to have any of those vegetables that I like, I'm going to eat them with my dinner so that when I inevitably get tired, it's fine because I'm not trying to still accomplish anything during the day. So my lunches and my breakfast and everything, they are now more on I think it's the paleo diet. I keep wanting to say carnivore diet, but I'm pretty sure it's the paleo diet because I will eat meat and berries and sometimes oats, but it's mostly meat and fruit. And that is working so well. And I've also noticed my body already after I've been hitting this pretty hard for like 2 weeks, and I already notice muscle definition and that I'm losing fat faster and everything. Will this work for you? I don't know. I'm not a food scientist. You can look up other girlies, you can look up different things, but I'm telling you, you should experiment with your own body because not everybody's going to process stuff the same way. And then if like you're a vegetarian, completely, then this isn't going to work for you. So take notes, keep what fits and aligns with you, discard the rest. So now that I've been doing that, I also started not running as much and I started walking more. So I started like doing 10K steps over the summer, like beginning of fall. I don't do well out in the heat. I really like it when it's cold and rainy, which sounds so crazy when I tell people that, but like I'm Scottish, that's where I thrive. So I started walking outside when I could, but not all the time. Over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've really tried to hit 10K steps a day instead of just like every other day or like a couple times a week. Obviously, I didn't do it this weekend, but it's fine. It's fine. It's also Shark Week, and for about 4 days, I'm down and out and have no energy to do anything anyway. Again, just experiment, see what happens. I gave it about a week doing the same thing before I switched just to kind of compare. And then I would make notes in my phone about what I was doing. But right now, the paleo diet, the walking, I do use the workout apps on my phone most days. If I'm not working out, it's because I ran. Next on my agenda is to start on the days that I do run. I try to run 2 or 3 days a week, but on the days I do run, I'm going to try to walk and still walk the 10K steps. So I actually have extra and see how that goes. So that's next on my list. But I'm really trying to get like the food portions and everything down. Something I researched and a girl I started following, she mainly focuses on short girl workouts and diet things. And she said that you should be getting, or that I should be getting 90 grams of protein a day. So I'm working on that before I do the 10K steps on the days added to the days that I run instead of like combining it together. So that's in the plan. And then something else I added, which I know this sounds like a lot, I will put on the screen for you a list of all the things that I do somewhere at the end of this video so that you guys can actually see the things in the breakdown of how I started. And then you can screenshot it and kind of work in your own little magic and see what works for you. But something else I added, one of the other girlies I follow that I just started following a couple of months ago, maybe 2 months ago, if I remember correctly, she takes, I call it the AM shot, but she takes a shot of lemon juice and olive oil, like not just any olive oil, like a good olive oil, like good natural olive oil. Something I read said that you should take a teaspoon of coconut oil a day if you're over 40. So I put the coconut oil, the olive oil, and the lemon juice in a shot glass, and I take it within 30 minutes of waking up. But in the period of time that I have been doing that, it has made the single most noticeable difference in my digestive system, and now it's a habit. But so far, those seem to be what's working for me right now. If I find anything else to add to my routine in the meantime, before I do like a updated video, I will let you guys know. I will put a post something here on YouTube for you guys. But right now, those are the things that are helping me, and I highly suggest you try it out too. Edit them to fit your lifestyle and the dietary needs that you have. If you do try any of this, then please let me know if it worked, didn't work, how you're feeling about it. I would love to hear your guys' testimonies and everything. Like I said, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a coach or anything like that, but these are things that I've personally been doing in the last 6 months to help myself. And I did notice, or I have noticed, that there's just not a lot of people 35 or older on YouTube. If there are, I haven't found them yet. So I feel like this will be really beneficial to someone, hopefully multiple people, but even if it just helps one person, that's all I can ask for. So, thanks for tuning in this week. I will see you guys next Monday. And I'm going to get these 10K steps in before dinner's done and get this video posted. I'm going to do it before 8 o'clock. I am. I will it, so it will be so. Okay, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll catch you next Monday. Bye.